Good evening, everyone. Does anybody else think it's interesting, ironic, in fact, that the royal family is apparently falling apart? The last time Trump was in the UK, he seemed to be sort of leading things. He was inspecting their guards and walking ahead of them. Brexit just left the European Union. I don't know what that means for Canada, but I'm kind of excited about that. And, the crown is being dismantled. It's being taken off of the head of the world, in a sense. The Commonwealth, perhaps, but, the Queen is losing her authority. Whether or not you look at that from the deeper perspective of what we can see because we know what's going on behind the scenes, or merely just looking at it as time to pass the baton to the younger members of the family, for those of us that would look at it just from a purely optical point of view. Just what do we see? What is the media telling us? But either way, no matter how you look at it, whether you're looking at it at face value from the mainstream media or from a deeper perspective, from an esoteric perspective, from an alternative news perspective, the crown is in a shambles. It's being taken apart. And what an interesting time to introduce the coronavirus. Corona, of course, being a word for crown. So I just found that very interesting. I'm really interested in etymology, which I've mentioned many times. But I've been thinking a lot about that. And beards. And what is a beard? That's a very interesting one for me as well. Because a beard that a man grows can really change a face. Can be a disguise. Obviously, there's the colloquial usage of the word beard to mean, someone who helps you cover your true identity. And so in many uses, it's used, it was used anyway, to describe fake girlfriends that gay men would sort of parade around to create a ruse, basically, for people that they wanted to lie to about their true identity. So perhaps family members or bosses or whatever. And then I've been noticing the use of beards in religion. And pretty much every Orthodox religion requires a man to wear a beard. And I find that very interesting, especially under the particular circumstances surrounding the decision for our foolish leader, Trudeau's beard. Is it just that he really doesn't care anymore if we know that he is the son of Castro? Or is it something else? Is it a nod to a unity of sorts? But beards have been made very popular in the last 10 years. In Toronto, we refer to it as hipster culture. And a lot of, sort of cooler hip guys with their giant beards and their short haircuts, and usually accompanied by a pair of glasses, hats, those little paperboy hats that old men wear sometimes, newsies, And they're rolled up, slim fitting jeans. So they have these really interesting, like, tight fitting pants, and yet they have these giant beards. And then they top it all off with a pair of glasses, you know. And they probably, I don't know what they're reading, but they're drinking coffees. But yeah, it's so interesting, you know. And I remember thinking that, how funny it was, because there was an article in, like, it was like Teen Vogue or something, and it was about, like, basically, who was it now? It was Stalin? Why was, no, oh, some dictator. Oh, I'll put it in here, but basically it was like some communist dictator, and they were basically trying to explain why he was sexy. And they had a picture of him, you know, with his beard. But think about that. Think about all those facial haired dictators as well. Not so much the beard all the time, but something often, anyway. But yeah, beards. A beard is not something, as far as I know, and I've known many people, many men with beards. I've known a lot of people with beards, but not a lot, but anyway. Beards are not just, I don't know, they seem to be kind of a commitment. And maybe that's it. Maybe it's a way of showing commitment to something. I don't know exactly what it is, but there definitely seems to be, in many situations across the world, there seems to be kind of an allegiance aspect to the beard. It's like a uniform, or it's like a, I don't know, like a promise, a vow. I don't know. Beards. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Talk to you soon. I'll leave links in the description box.